everyone. Welcome once again to Plattwoods Church. My name is Evie Martin. I'm the lead pastor here. Welcome to all of you gathered in this space, but a special welcome to those of you joining us on the live stream or online today. I was looking around the room to see if there were any kids left in the room, and I think they all just walked out. I need some help here. I'm gonna, okay, back here? Great. Do you want to come up here? You do? No, I didn't think so. I'll ask you from afar. That's fine. But I'm gonna start with a grown-up. Preston, when was the last time that you played? Yesterday. Crickets. Okay, what'd you play yesterday?
I rode bikes.
You rode bikes. Fantastic, took you a second. Okay, who was back here raising their hands? When was the last time you played?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, what'd you play?
Wiffle ball.
Wiffle ball. Anybody else back there? Uh-huh. You played yesterday too? Nobody played today? I was really hoping, yeah, okay. You played a card game with your brother yesterday. I love it. I need another grown-up. Bob, when was the last time you played?
I didn't play.
You didn't play. Okay, I'm just calling out people. Eric, when was the last time you played? Last night, what'd you play?
I played
Dungeons and Dragons, I love it. Okay, I don't even need the mic, thanks. Good job. Okay, you guys are doing better than I thought. This might not be a sermon here today, we're gonna see. Anyway, thanks for helping. I appreciate you letting me just call you out. Today we're kicking off a whole new sermon series called Faith Like a Child. Now, when you think of a teacher, how old do you think they are? When you picture a teacher in your mind, what do you picture? Grown-ups, 28, right, good average age, right? They're grown-ups. Grown-ups are teachers. But in this series, we're gonna flip the roles because we think that kids have a lot to teach us, especially when it comes to our faith in God. And we are not the only ones to think so. Jesus thought so too. In the Gospels, which are the books in the Bible that focus on the stories of Jesus, there's a really wonderful moment where Jesus interacts with some kids, and he has a message for the grown-ups too. Matthew, Mark, and Luke all tell this story, but I'm going to read it from the Gospel of Mark. So it appears in chapter 10, starts in verse 13. People were bringing children to Jesus so that he would bless them, but the disciples scolded them. When Jesus saw this, he grew angry and said to them, "Allow the children to come to me. Don't forbid them, because God's kingdom belongs to people like these children. I assure you that whoever doesn't welcome God's kingdom like a child will never enter it." Then he hugged the children and blessed them. Crowds of people were gathered around, as they often were, to see Jesus and hear what it was that he was teaching. You can picture parents like nudging their way through, trying to get close to Jesus so that he could bless their kids. There's something instinctual about this, isn't there? Like even today, we want our kids to experience the presence of greatness. We hope that there's something special for them if a celebrity or a leader notices or singles them out. We push our kids forward to get Patrick Mahomes' high five or the Bobby Witt Jr. autograph, right? And yet, none of that was the purpose of Jesus' work that day. At least that's not what his disciples thought. He was busy talking to the grown-ups, teaching serious, boring grown-up stuff. And now all these kids were distracting and getting in the way, keeping Jesus from the important stuff. So the grown-up disciples start shooing the kids away. Jesus, honestly, probably bored of all the serious teaching stuff at that point, gets miffed. "No way," he says. "Let those kids through. They are the real teachers. If you truly want to experience the kingdom of God, the kids are the ones to show you the way." And so we're gonna take Jesus at his word. That the children in our lives, in our church, in our world are the best teachers we've got for growing in our faith and living in the kingdom of God. This was certainly a countercultural moment on Jesus' part. In the first century Roman Empire, children weren't exactly highly regarded as prominent or significant members of society. And even in the Jewish cultures of the time, children were valuable, yes, within the family unit, valuable as legacy, as labor, as care in parents' old age, but they were still considered property, not persons yet in their own right. They were meaningful to families, but society at large held children with little regard. So for Jesus to name their unique capacity to understand or to possess some knowledge that adults did not, that was radical. It unsettled the disciples and everyone else who felt comfortable with the established structure of society. Even today, it's significant for us to bend the order of things. In my line of work, we've long thought of children as the future. We care about kids in church because one day they will grow up to replace us and be the leaders of the church, right? Fundamentally, that's kind of a narcissistic view to take. Their value to our community is that one day they will be us. No, we believe our kids are more than that our kids are here now. We say we are one body and they are a part of it, not a future body, a now body. Our children aren't the church of the future. They are the church right now. God's kingdom belongs to people like these children. So let's let them be our teachers. The first thing we have to learn from kids today is that they are the experts at play. My opening illustration was supposed to show that adults would struggle to answer that question and children would not. It didn't play out that way, so I'm not gonna do it again. But anyway, that was the idea. When you ask a kid a question about play, typically, like when did you play, what did you play, there's no hesitation in their answer. They played recently, they play often, and they play silly and imaginative things. They make up games, they turn cardboard boxes into castles, they invent worlds that grown-ups have forgotten how to see. They don't worry if rules or plot or imaginary characters make any sense because they don't have to. They're playing. Grown-ups, on the other hand, grown-ups typically, not the ones that I asked except for Bob, grown-ups have forgotten an awful lot about play. When you ask grown-ups about play, they don't have answers. They usually have follow-up questions. Do you mean like play a sport? What about exercise? I like exercise. Does that count? Do you mean with other people? Board games? Or just something for me to enjoy? What do you mean by play? Grown-ups have a hard time even remembering the concept of play sometimes. We need a lot of qualifiers and explanations and caveats to it, and most of the time we can't really remember the last time we did it. Played. Just to play. Instead, we like to assign productivity to all our activity. Anything we do that doesn't have a specific purpose is a waste of our time, and time is precious. So we try to shoehorn in other things that we do into our definition of play. Like going to the gym after work, that's a release of stress. I like doing that. That's play, right? No. It's good for you, sure, but it's just a different kind of work with a purpose. It's not play. Building a new shed out back, maybe even a treehouse for my kids. I enjoy doing things with my hands. It's decompression from my job. Does that count as play? Nope. I'm so glad it brings you satisfaction, but it has a purpose and an objective. It's still work. It's not play. Cooking for all my family and friends. Oh, that's so much fun. I love entertaining. I can call that play. No, you're working to feed people. That's an incredible gift. It's one that brings you life. Still not play. Pickleball. I'm with my friends. We catch up. We give each other a hard time. Sure, I like to win, but even if I don't, it's still fun. Okay, yes, I'll give you this one. The explosion of pickleball might be the movement that saves play for grown-ups. I don't know. I'll give you pickleball. What happens to our play as we age is that we impose purpose and productivity on our time. And so we abandon the frivolity and the pointlessness of play. We see it as a waste of time, which is to abandon the whole gift that it is in the first place. I got to hang out at my youngest son's school on Friday to help out with their First Friday's activities, and there was different everyday heroes, fire truck, ambulance, the K-9 unit, to share what they do. And the K-9 unit, the handler, she told about her dog that she works with. Someone asked the question, like, is the dog always working? Because the dog lives and works with her. And she said, no, we train through obedience that once we get into the car, once the door of the patrol car opens and we get in the morning, we're in work mode. And then we get home, he gets out of the car, we go into the house. As soon as I open the back door and I give the command free, he knows he's off the clock. And he runs around the backyard like a crazy dog. I thought that's so fascinating. I don't think we ever let ourselves hear that command free at any point during our day. We've forgotten to hear the command, free, go play. Play does have a purpose. Its purpose is simply to enjoy, not to accomplish, not to achieve, not to win, not to make or build or produce. Play is to enjoy, simply for the sake of enjoying. There's a really cool book in the Old Testament. One day I might do a whole series on it, we'll see. It's called Ecclesiastes, and it's considered part of the wisdom literature in the Bible, which is to say it is observational teaching about the world and how things work, and its aim is to try and make meaning out of all the chaos and the nonsense that seems to happen in our lives. And multiple times throughout this book, the writer, the wise one, keeps coming back to his or her conclusion that we should just enjoy what we can. That's really the greatest purpose and end to life. In chapter 8, again, it says this many times, but in chapter 8, it's put this way. So I commend enjoyment, because there's nothing better for people to do under the sun but to eat, drink, be glad. This is what will accompany them in their hard work during the lifetime that God gives under the sun. I commend enjoyment. Not enjoyment for some other purpose, not enjoyment with a goal or result, enjoyment simply for enjoyment. In other words, play. Play is not a waste. Playing with no goal or objective is not meaningless. Play is the meaning. Because in the playing, in our enjoyment, we are experiencing something of God. When I ask a group of people, how do you experience God? The most common answer, hands down, every time is in nature. Getting outside into the created world, the small intricacies of a flower, the vast face of a mountainside is where so many people find a moment of divine presence in their day-to-day lives. What do you imagine God was doing when God was going about creating the world? I know the Bible said that God worked for 6 days to make everything and then God rested, but truly, look around outside. Was God working or was God playing? Did God make fjords to be practical and productive? Did God paint the night sky with the deepest, blackest hues and then spatter it with rhinestone stars because it would be efficient and effective? Did God dig canyon-sized holes to check off make basement from the list? No. The beauty that God made was for no other purpose than to be enjoyed. Enjoyment. God's creating was God's playing. God was playing outside. That's why we feel God when we play outside too. There are deep things at work in us when we play because it is instinctual. No one has to teach a child how to play. No one has to model it for them. It's part of our human hardwiring. Modern psychology gives us an even deeper understanding of the importance of play for humans. For children, play strengthens cognitive thinking and memory, creating new neural connections in the brain. Play is where humans learn how to interact with other humans and how not to. Play helps kids regulate their emotions. It helps them access what's going on inside. That's why you see so many kids in play therapy. For grown-ups, play is scientifically shown to reduce stress, to increase our feelings of optimism, to build cognitive flexibility, and it is even theorized to help attract and keep mates. Just citing the sources here. Do with it what you will. Play helps us maintain our relationships. All of that to say, to play is to be human. Kids can't help but do it. Grown-ups do well to remember to do it, especially as life gets harder and more serious. And play has an even stronger and deeper function for humans. Play can be defiance, resistance, as Ecclesiastes was suggesting. With all that life throws at us, with all the suffering and pain and upheaval and uncertainty, it's not hard to imagine just throwing up our hands and giving in. But to play in the midst of it all, to eat, drink, and play, that is to resist, to say, no, I will be human. I will do what I have been made to do. I will enjoy. And children will always be our teachers, because even in the middle of tragedies and really difficult times, children find a way to play. You see it in war zones, in natural disasters. Children will make toys out of the shards and rubble. In hospitals and sick beds, children will always have a stuffy nearby. They will light up when a nurse enters in a costume. When their home life is uncertain, kids will make up games and they'll dig holes and they'll build rocket ships from paper towel tubes. When they meet a new kid who doesn't speak the same language, they'll turn up a soccer ball somehow, and soon everyone is playing. Play makes friends out of those who are supposed to be enemies. Play wrests life and laughter out of lethargy and tears. Play insists on life, even when life is hard to live. Play is defiantly and beautifully human. To practice our faith like a child means to remember to play, to set aside time to play, to prioritize play in our lives. No purpose, no objective, just play. Because play grounds us in our true purpose, which is to enjoy God and to enjoy the life God has given us. So, go play. Yay!